sincerely welcome our dear guest to this very wonderful session. It is wonderful because and very special because we want to actually practicalize or do the practice of what we have been preaching to discuss solutions and also to release the idea of how people can actually develop or emulate a solution that has been developed and also learn from the people that have impacted their community and the global community on with what they have done before. And that is the essence of this very session. And I want a brief introduction into today's theme, like a five minutes introduction or remarks about today's theme. And that will be a question of the career of our guest and the journey of our guest. How did they come about the problems that they pick interest in, and how did they come about the solutions that they have provided? I think that is going to tell their story to us, how they have come about those solutions. Then the second session of a 30-minute presentation will be the solution that they actually developed and how far it has been impacting on the global community. That is the way we are going to move. Then we are going to open the session to the participants to also contribute and also make remarks and maybe ask questions. We are going to respond to that. Then we are going to close by the three minutes closing remarks from our guest. That is the way we are going to run this very session. But let me, that very note, I want to appreciate our guests and our participants on this very platform. And let me open the first round by calling on Mr. Bhaskaran to tell us his own career story and lifestyle, how it came about, the solution that he has been able to work on in 5 minutes. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, good evening. My name is Bhaskaran. I'm based out of Singapore. I got around 35 years of experience in information technology. I'm settled, I'm a citizen of Singapore. So when the pandemic broke, I was tired of doing all the IT-related activities, software development, infrastructure, data center, and all. I felt, like I should do something back to the society. That is where, we started developing apps to empower individuals to manage, right from their finance, health, sustainability, documents, everything. They can use the app to store, retrieve data, and then, use the app. The second aspect, I also felt, nobody's really giving focus on sustainability. This was around, 4 years back. Nobody was really talking about sustainability and all. We developed an app called Planet Sustain to empower any individuals, students, employees, stakeholders, businesses, SMEs to track the carbon footprint, take action, reduce, reduce and also be a responsible consumer. That's the only way to solve the sustainability-related climate risk. The third app is called InnoHealth, where it allows an individual to store all the health data within the app. And all the three apps works without Wi-Fi and internet, so that your data is stored only on your mobile phone. I think I'm getting some background noise. Can you just mute some of your? Yeah. Otherwise, I'm trying to answer. That. Yeah. So all the three apps works without Wi-Fi and the internet, and so that user can use it any remote location or where the internet connectivity is very low, or you don't need any internet or Wi-Fi to use the app. Yeah, I will discuss more on this when I do my 10 minutes presentation. Thank you very much.
So very good afternoon, good morning, Ambassador Dr. Shahid Adivashi, all respected speaker, respected guest, dear scholar, and ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I express my sincere thanks and gratitude to all of you. It is a very nice session, and it is a brainstorming session. It's a very important topics. So, in contrast of today's topic, I could say that our main aim in the present global scenario should be to achieve 17 Sustainable Development Goal by 2030. Sustainable development is a social process that integrates social, economic, and environmental objectives to meet with the present needs of human beings without compromising the needs of future generations. And also, Sustainable Development Goals are the blueprint designed to tackle global challenges and achieve a better futures. We all global citizens are placed in the center of the responsibility to achieve the sustainable development goals for betterment of our planet, to save the planet. Another aspect is sustainable living. Sustainable living is about creating a balance between meeting our needs and preserving our planet. This includes everything from food we eat to how we get around, etc. The security of human lives have always been understood to depend on the strength and resilience of natural world which we inhabit. United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development includes 17 goals. So we, as a global citizen, individual can contribute to SDGs in many ways, including reducing inequality, ensuring sustainable consumption and production patterns, promoting peaceful and inclusive societies, defining priorities, environmental sustainability, wastewater management, wasting less food, helping people around you, not wasting water, creating new job opportunities, avoiding products that harmful to the environment, recycling, energy optimization, buying energy efficient appliances. These all are individual can take these initiatives to towards sustainable development goals. So in my career, I have 20 years experience in civil engineering domain. I initially I was in the corporate, and I have developed sustainable building materials in an entrepreneur cell in my PhD times. So that actually developed a concrete and brick from the mining waste. That waste actually it was remained there last 60-70 years. Nobody has taken initiative to utilize this waste. So in my motivation, or I have a passion to develop this type of things, so I developed sustainable building material from this waste that I will show in my presentation. So now for this program, I wish you all the best for today's session. The topic is very relevant and we'll get meaningful outcome out of this session. Thank you so much. Thank you all of you.
Doctor, you are
You're
muted.
Doctor.
You're muted.
Thank you. Like I said, yes.
You are
like I said, today is very loaded, and yes, we are excited to be here with these very powerful leaders and the solution providers. Straight, let me go to Sir Kapil Kaur from India. Yes, sir.
Good day to everybody out here today. Some who we have met before, some I can see that we're meeting for the first time. It's my pleasure to be on board with this symposium and this entity headed by Dr. Shahid Adivasi. It's a very laudable effort, and we need to increase the momentum and the depth of these discussions and bring them into fruition in the countries and with the governments where we are all associated, especially in the African Union. I stress on the African Union for certain reasons, but before that, for those who were not online in the previous session, just a small brief about me. I've had an extensive experience of about 42 to 43 years in the commercial world, primarily in commodities, FMCG, automotive components, and business development. But more importantly, that over 3 years, I've had, or rather, over three instances, I have had three traumatic incidences. In 97, 17th March, I was run over by a car. I still have a plate in my femur snapped in two. I have a plate in my foot, in my leg still, in my thigh. Second, on 15th August 2008, I was hit by a fatal heart attack. I was revived by electric shocks, and I had a triple bypass on the 21st of November 2008. And then in 2018, a motorcyclist came and slammed into my car at full speed on the side. So from the second incident onwards, I wondered, why am I alive? People don't survive one incident. I've survived three. But in this case, at that time, it was two. So I found that when I was reviving and I was getting my heart back into full functioning abilities, the quality of oxygen, the water, and the environment in which I was working in or relaxing in radically changed my heart rate, my sugar levels, my blood pressure, all the vital parameters by which you determine your survival. I could see that when the quality of oxygen was high, everything was, my medication would remain the same. But my parameters would be radically different. So in short, if I did not have equipment like I'm wearing the watch, I've got my digital Bluetooth, BP machine, sugar machine, etc. If I didn't have these, then I wouldn't be alive today, because with the kind of medication I was having, I would have gone hypo, or my BP levels would have gone radically low, very low, and I would have died. And people would have said, oh, he's a heart patient, so he had to die. He couldn't survive. No, it was the environment, the water, and the oxygen that was very critical. So I suddenly realized that it is for me as an individual that the power on top, you call him God, you call him Allah, you call him whatever you call him, it doesn't matter. It's a power. That power is sending me back for a purpose. And I felt that it is now my purpose to make people aware of the environment like a live guinea pig. So I got into that. And then I became the national president of Indo-American Chamber of Commerce. That's another story, which is in destiny. And I must tell you that there are many stories that I have in destiny, which bring me to the point of where I'm talking to all of you today. So with that behind me, which I can relate on different sessions, or maybe when we meet together, but there's a lot of sense of destiny with which things are playing out. How I came in contact with Dr. Manaf, and how I have got on board the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce. My presidency was delayed by about 12 years. And it was with deliberate intent on my destiny that was delayed. So coming back to one last point, which is that apart from the introduction, that for us, it is imperative. When you say sustainability, it makes so people think that, this climate change, environment is something that we can take 1 decade, 2 decades, going into the future. Let's do it slowly. No way. No way. The word sustainability is too soft a word. It's got to be an emergency reaction. We've got to stop things now, not tomorrow. No. The practices that we have, wasteful practices we have, consumerism that we have, all this has to stop. The crude oil that we are consuming, I agree, crude oil must continue for a while because that is a source of energy. But there are derivatives by which we can reduce the dependency and go to green energy and the like. And here I will come to the African Union. Why I'm stressing on African Union is, not many people would know or would have observed that during the pandemic, the African Union was the least affected in the pandemic. Why? Why was it that cities like New York, why was it that cities in India like Bombay, both are key financial centers, why were they the worst affected when it's the most, both these cities are supposed to be the most advanced and affluent cities in the world? Why were they impacted? Why is it that Africa was not impacted? It's because of the values that guide the people that live in these cities or in these countries. So African Union, by and large, has an advantage that you do value the environment. I think if I'm not mistaken, the Ubuntu tribe in South Africa, they know how to live with the environment very, very well. So when you already have an environment which you can take care of, like I say, when I talk to the Rwandan High Commissioner here in India or the Mauritius High Commissioner here in India, that if you go to Mauritius or you go to all these places like Rwanda, etc., you don't have to talk about greening of a city or a country. It's already green. You only have to develop the country, keeping the green as it is and increasing it. That's it. And I'm happy that I just learned that Rwanda is a country that has made the environmental issues core to all its economic programs or policies in the government. So I'll just end here by saying that it is an emergency. It is not a question of sustainability. It's a question of our survival as a species. Be under no illusion. There's a link which I have. I can send it to you, Dr. Adivesi, which every day there are 5 earthquakes. Every day there are multiple cities where the water is gushing in from these flash floods and wiping out entire streets and the transport systems. So these are telltale signs. We can't take it for granted. We can't say that tomorrow is safe. I say tomorrow is unsafe. And for us all about here, we must get all the governments and the people on board to take action like tomorrow is an emergency. Thank you very much.
This is Miss Naomi from Uganda. Your opening remark.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Doctor, for calling me for this call. It's been so great and so marvelous. I do appreciate for this initiation for that you have done for us. May God bless you. So thank you very much to look for the future. Yes. So I want to share with you about what we can do for our future. Yes, you know very well that the community is full of people who have the common goals, the common interests, and this community is not very sure, as the previous speaker has said, that we cannot be very sure of tomorrow, and we are the people who can save our tomorrow. We are the same people who can save our future, because the future is at the stake. When you look at the things that are being done now currently, we are only spoiling other than rebuilding. So our communities are not okay, and something has to be done. And the engine that can do this are we researchers. So what have we done for the future when we look at ourselves? Myself, I've engaged, I'm a lecturer at Ndeje University. I part-time at Victoria University and in Kuba University, and I would want to appreciate Ronald Chicho, Semogerero, and Ross for joining. So, may I invest much in passing knowledge? I always tell the young ones that you people, whatever we are.
Engineer Najib Oyeyemi from UAE. Thank you.
Hi, good day, everyone. I'm happy and I'm honored to be here, and I think this is a good platform, and it's, from what I've heard so far, I think I'm I should count myself lucky to be here. So basically, I play in the IT industry, and I have over a decade of experience gotten across multiple industry. I've worked in IT industry, banking and finance industry, and then I'm currently working in the telecommunication industry. So while I hear the word sustainability, I quite agree with the last speaker. It's more about the environment and how we control it. And then for me, I think there are different set of tools that is applicable, available for us now to actually take us to the next level where we should be. So basically, I'm very passionate about information security, cybersecurity, IT governance, risk and compliance. So that is where I've been playing for a very long time, actually. Now, in the realm of security, or let me say, if you look at sustainability in its entirety, basically, in my opinion, I think we need to improve on our risk management. So proactive risk management is actually the watchword during this era, to be able to preempt what can go wrong and start putting mitigants in place to forestall such activity. About 2 or 3 years ago, I relocated to Dubai, and then I met with some like minds and fellow people from my country, just to be specific. And then we sat down and we were thinking about Nigeria as a country. We were so blessed with human resources, natural resources, almost everything that everybody will have hoped for. We have it. But then the question is, the rate at which we are developing as a nation is still like 1950, to be honest. So we think about what is it that we can do to give back to our dear nation. And then we sit down, think about the prominent issue. But basically, what we've done is actually to adopt the risk management tool. What are the problems? Which one are we able to solve? And then we start from there. So for me, what have worked for me so far in my career is the ability to ask the right question. It cannot be overemphasized, the need to ask the right question. For example, if I had to do anything, be it professional, be it personal, I always ask 3 to 4 questions. The first one is why? Why am I doing this? Because that tells me the reason or what will be the benefits of actually indulging in that quest. Then the question is about what? What clearly helps me to align the objective with the goals. Then the question of where, which is not applicable all the time, to know the location where you actually want to focus on, or where to put in all your energy. And then finally, the how. How do you achieve this, right? So for me, we look at the agricultural sector, even though I have a background in electrical engineering, and then we have this premonition at that time that come 2023, 2024, Nigeria, the way we are going, we may actually have an issue in the agricultural industry. To be honest, we don't know it will be this soon. And from recent publications and then the happenings in the country, we're already heading towards that way. So we come up with some likely solution, which of course we'll discuss later on, and tells you what it is that we've done, what we are doing, and what we expect. So I don't want to take too much time. So I will give it back to the facilitator. Thank you, Dr. Said.
Thank you so much. Yes, first presentation of the solution. And we would like to take the first solution from our dear Professor Vishnu Padabusi. You have the floor, sir, for the 10 minutes.
Thank you. I express my sincere thanks and gratitude to all of you. Yes, yes. So this is the process, entire process. Though it is a big process, part portion I have showing in this presentation today, and it is a big slides and big process. So mainly recycling selected waste for sustainable construction material through the circular economy concept. So this is my motivation. My thought was like that: increasing waste surrounding us, environmental degradation, depletion of natural resources for construction, diminishing food availability because waste is occupied vast area of land, and waste also polluting air, water, soil, everything. Part of the motivation. This is the present scenario. Carrying capacity of the biosphere has overshot by huge margin. That means nature has lost his regenerative capacity. So this is the theoretical graph. It is a tremendous critical situation for us. So recycling can reduce waste and replenish resources, thereby reduce burden on the nature and increase sustainability. So these four thought I was have in my process periods, that sand is natural resources, it's already depleted. Clay using for fire clay brick, which is not environment friendly, and it is also illegal process also because it's reducing the agriculture capacity, reducing crop capacity, reduce land area. At the same time, stone chips also scarcity is there. Land for productive use. Available land for cultivation is sinking due to the disposal of waste. So this is the four things, elements as in the process. The concept generation process, I consider these four elements. Sand mining has restricted in India and other countries also. Use of natural clay for fire clay brick is also being banned. Stone chips quarries are precariously exhausting. Land for productive use, it is reducing. This is the future projections, the how the rate of generation of waste, exponential growth of waste generation, which is very harmful for the earth. The solution needed immediately. My process was actually involved in the mining waste. Globally, 31 billion tons of waste is generated annually from coal mines. Coal mining alone degrades 34,500 hectare land every year. So this is the huge loss for all of us. And reducing sustainability of natural resources. The concept is like that: generation of colossal amount of dangerous waste is an inexhibited part of the mining activity. Mining activity is presently not so sustainable. At the same time, natural source of construction material are fast depleting. Clay bricks deplete fertile topsoil, challenging food security, and are being banned across the world. Construction work is not sustainable unless an alternative source is found. Waste contain heavy metals that polluting land, soil, water, etc. And it is unsuitable for human also. Using waste to replace natural materials for construction work can sustain these two activities. This is the concept. Using waste to replace natural materials for construction work can sustain these two activities. Global man-made mass exceeded all living biomass. Landmark reached 2020. It is pertinent to aim for a world without trash. The vision for a circular economy where we use resources sparingly and recycle endlessly is inspiring business and environmentalists alike. Circular economy constants, we all know it is a gaining global acceptance. Continuous recycle of the material in the circular economy concept, there is no waste, all is considered wealth. So all are resources, all can be circulate for the application purpose. So this is the concept. This is the common graphical representation of the linear economy and circular economy. Linear economy, we disposing the end use material. In the circular economy, we could not dispose the end use material. All are recycled, all are circulate continuously. So linear economy is unsustainable, but circular economy is sustainable because it is a continuous circulate the resources. Since my project is related to bricks and concrete, so I have presented some negative impact of the burnt clay brick because my production is not the burnt in my brick processing. We are not using any fuel or fossil fuel. So that's what I mentioned, negative impact of the burnt clay brick, which was there in many countries. Clean up burnt clay bricks release over 1070 million tons of carbon dioxide emission into the atmosphere every year, which is 2.7% of the total emissions. Globally, bricks clean burn 30,000 tons of coal per year. Process of burnt clay bricks are heated up to a maturing temperature between 900 to 1200 degrees Celsius. In this process, pollutant released are particulate matter as well as greenhouse gases. So process of burnt clay brick release 0.41 kg of carbon dioxide per bricks. There is a huge amount of carbon dioxide generating every day throughout the globe. Manufacturing of clay bricks causes substantial amount of emissions. Use of waste industrial byproducts is cementitious bricks can reduce the release of greenhouse gases and embodied energy of the brickworks. Bricks from waste material without heating process can reduce massive amount of greenhouse gases. Basis for selection of specific waste. This is the concept and thought why I have selected mining waste to identify solid waste material that are environmentally harmful, available in large quantities, can be recycled in civil engineering applications, can potentially replace depleting natural construction material. Disposal required a lot of land areas. So in this basis, I have selected mining waste because mining waste satisfies all these conditions. Mining waste pollute environment, large quantity available in the country. Can be recycled in the civil engineering application, and it can be potentially replace natural construction material, and disposal require lot of land areas. This is the common things how mining waste pollute our environment, damaging biodiversity, etc., and calamity also. This is the same thing. Waste to wealth, it is a graphical representation in my concept. Problem of mining waste, increasing scarcity of construction materials, creating complementary in two problem to give rise to unique sustainability in both. Process technology to convert waste into brick or concrete or blocks. Now it is the product. Reduction of the waste release land, reduction of dependency on natural resources, natural source of construction material. In view of the above, develop process technology to utilize waste material as much as possible. So this is the mining waste, which I have considered to develop this material. It is the actual image of mining waste. So this is the overburden material, which I have seen in the graphical representation. 20 to 30 meter, it is a overburden material. That is actually mining waste. And below that, coal seam is there. Problem with waste, problem of natural resources. Waste causes serious environmental degradation, increasing scarcity of construction material. This is the same thing which I have explained in the last slide. Multidimensional problem, solution, single solution for all problems. So there is a multidimensional problem also exists in the mining waste. So I have developed this technology which can eliminate all the problems. Because mining waste occupied huge land area, that also released if I used all materials, naturally fertile topsoil we're using for burnt clay bricks. In my process, there is no heating processes. There no fertile topsoil is required. It is actually waste material. So this type of things I have considered in my concept, and finally I developed this type of things. This is the original location where the problem was there in the mining waste. The actual Google Maps. This is the waste, huge amount of waste. Original picture it is. This is the mining waste. This is a stone rocky material available there. This is some presentation of the calamity when dam was failure, West Dam was failure. Some issues of the coal mine waste. Coal mine waste release heavy metal leachate causing serious damage to the ecosystem. Maintenance of the dump is costly. Failure cost fatalities. Rainwater washes the waste to far away land, rendering it unfertile. Land rendering it unfertile. The mined and unmined coal of world may entail about 25 million hectares of land for dumping the overburden waste. We have only 14 million hectares of cultivable land. So mine waste occupying vast land area causing land crisis, leading to the food crisis. This is the circular economy concept I have developed in my process. First cleaning the material, then concrete and brick mortar, then construction, then new life of the waste materials, the end of the buildings, then demolition of waste, again the process. This is the circular economy concept. Core driver of the project objective to develop process that are environmental friendly, process that can lead to the consumption of the bulk of the waste materials, partially replenish the precariously depleting natural materials, release the land for agriculture and economic activities, benefit from the projects, reduce dependency of the fossil fuel, reduce emissions, replenish the depletion of natural resources, increase land area, reduce pollution, material circulation, reduce maintenance cost of the waste dump, economic development, social development, job creation. This is the flow chart. First, the problem. Mine spoil cause serious environmental problem. Problem 2, conventional source of aggregate depleting, state of the art. Then I have developed the concept. Comprehensive utilization of coal mine overburden. The waste material are segregated into large aggregate, small aggregate, fine aggregate. Then silt, then carbonaceous material that I have extracted from the mining waste. This is the total flow chart. How I have experimented in the laboratory. How I have extract this material from the mining waste and finally product. This is the actual pictures. This is the process in the laboratory. This is the product in the laboratory, prototype in the in-house laboratory. And it has tested through the different mechanical and engineering properties as well. This is the product and testing of the product. This is the result of the product. I mean, engineering analysis or mechanical analysis of the bricks, related to strength and water absorption. This is also result from the concrete. I have developed concrete also from this mining waste. This is the grading of concrete and strength we have achieved, and it is also satisfied the Indian standard code and all other standard code of civil engineering. So product is similar to the natural conventional materials or natural conventional bricks and conventional concrete, same as conventional materials. This is also testing results. This is also technical analysis or engineering properties analysis. This is also another testing. It is called fractional testings of the concrete. And we have tested and found that the result is very good and it is satisfied the Indian standard code, British standard code, American standard code. This is also a results analysis. This is also analysis. This is the brief of the results from the different analysis. Observation from the test. Brick made by coal mine waste can withstand the damaging effect of the varying environment as test result has satisfied the criteria. Mechanical property similar as prior and after the test. No crack, no color change. Weight change absolutely negligible. No change in shape and size. Comprehensive test. Compressive strength similar as prior to after test. Bulk density of the water absorption similar as prior and after the test. Actually, it is an environmental test. It is called accelerated weathering test. How this material react with the external environment. So that is actually good result we achieved. This is comparison of the product through the different, comparison of the product with Indian standard code. So all engineering and mechanical properties that satisfied the code. So our result of the test is very good, and it is as like as traditional construction material, traditional concrete and traditional bricks, which is mentioned in the Indian standard code. Costing also 36% less from the traditional conventional concrete. So that one cost estimates we have examined over here. This is also rate of the brick with comparison of the brick which is available in the market. This is the product at the factory level. This is the demonstrated process and the factory. So novelty of our works, waste to wealth mainly, low carbon footprint, because burned clay brick needs huge amount of fossil fuel, produce emission, whereas this technology, our technology processing bricks by coal process, no heating and sintering is required, so it's eliminate greenhouse gases. Low cost, high compressive strength, scalable business model. Building constructed using waste material are classified as a green. Release vast area of land for agriculture and commercial activities. Create job opportunities for local and displaced pupils. Replenish scarce resources for aggregates. But one limitation is there. Manufacturing brick using mining waste is possible only in the vicinity of the mine area. It is better if the factory is established near the mining waste. Conclusions. The process developed can be lead to the comprehensive consumption of coal mine overburden waste. All the product meet their respective Indian standard code. The cost of the brick are lower compared to the comparable standard bricks. Entrepreneurs are interested in these technologies. A lot of waste can potentially be recycled and put to use. Some part of the natural resources will be supplemented. A lot of land areas will be released. Adoption of the process would lead converting waste into wealth. Implementation of the technology would squarely fulfill the circular economy philosophy. It is possible to convert mining waste into construction material without compromising quality and cost, a sustainable proposition. The technology can help to consume waste and provide an alternative resources for construction sector. The calamities associated with the waste will cease to exist. The technology will ensure food security by replacing traditional clay bricks, because traditional clay brick consume huge amount of fertile topsoil. The building to be constructed using this technology will qualify as a green buildings. The technology provides innovative entrepreneurial opportunities with unique social perspectives. This is one dialogue. The circular economy is not just planet friendly, it is a $1 trillion market opportunities, because whole world now only 9% circularity is there. 91% opportunity still is unfolding condition. Thank you so much. Actually, it is a huge amount of concept is there, slide is there. I have shown only part portion, and brick also 3-4 part also there. Thank you so much.
Professor Vishnu, when I first actually received this very presentation, I was so amazed, and receiving it now and still mentioning that these are just parts extraction of the work. Yes, of course. If you have been working on this solution for years, definitely, and you have tested it, even scale it up to the level of market adopted by the government in India and some other industry. I think it is open to the world. And this is a fantastic and also
Sorry, if you can see my slide, can you please just indicate maybe with a
yes,
thumbs
you
up or
can
something?
see it. You can see it very clearly.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So, like I mentioned, even though I play in the IT world, we envisage that a lot of solution, I mean, a lot of problem that IT can actually combat, and one of them is the issue of agricultural produce in Nigeria. So, myself and some of my friends with similar mindset, we came together and we formed a company called Azura Tech. It's currently located in Abuja, and then we are basically our operation for now is in the north. So we plan to diversify into the south very soon, hopefully. Okay, so I'm going to run you through the slide. I don't want to bore you with details. I will just run through the slide so you can get the concept. So these are the content of my presentation. I will talk about the introduction, the services, the problem, our solution, and then some of our products. So yeah, like I mentioned to you, we thought about what sustainability means to Nigeria economy as a whole. And when you look at what the UN, the AU, they've been preaching all this while, I think the whole global environment is focused on sustainability, be it energy, be it agriculture, be it job security. I think everybody now adopts the word sustainability, even within the business realm. Now, we noticed something in Nigeria. So basically, this is our service. Aside from agricultural solutions, we are into digital transformation, consultancy, and even application development. But that's so. Let's talk about the problem and what solution we provide to the problem. So basically, what we notice in the Nigeria economy when it comes to agricultural industry, we understand the affordability of the fertilizers. Basically, if you look at it, the world is tending towards organic food, organic produce. But yet, we still found that we are using conventional fertilizer, which means whatever produce you have from that is basically not organic. It's inorganic, just to be clear. Now, fertilizer in Nigeria, aside from the high cost, there is also adulteration of fertilizer, and then there is largely unavailability of fertilizer, especially to the peasant farmers, not those who are producing on a large scale. And then when you look at the distribution of grants by the government, it doesn't usually cover the peasant farmers, to be honest. And then again, we look at how as Nigeria as a whole have been able to imbibe the technological knowledge into their agricultural practice. You find out that it's overwhelming that only mechanized farming, to some extent, I think to a larger percentage of probably like 50%, they adopt the recent and current technology, but not more than 50% of even the mechanized farmers. Lastly, the insecurity of farm produce. So basically, there's a problem of your produce being stolen by the thief and all those things, inappropriate security around your farm perimeter, even the ability to even monitor your staff on what they are doing on the farm. And the last thing is actually the logistic from moving your produce to the farm. Now, what is the solution? For the part of fertilizer, we come up with a solution of how to manufacture organic biofertilizer. So we are currently we now have a biofertilizer warehouse in Kaduna. We are building one in Abuja, and then we are progressing actually, because the initial cost of this is actually kind of enormous, but the maintenance cost is pretty much less expensive, and then the operational cost as well is the same thing. It's just from the start, it looks kind of expensive. So, and then what we've done is actually to build one and now conduct tests, right? So I will talk a little bit about how the fertilizer perform later on. The second one is when you look at maintenance, and using technology to drive the farm operation. We come up with an application called Farm Management Application. On this application, what we've tried to build is we built a surveillance dashboard that you can actually see an entire section of your farm, and then you can zoom in to monitor the different farming section. And at the same time, you can easily manage your employee on the farm from that application by assigning tasks and getting daily reports from the application. And finally, we have farm advisory services. So we collaborate with lecturers, particularly in the North, that are very vast in agricultural solution, and try to see how we can promote better agricultural practice. And as part of our application, we have a section on the application where you can actually go and see the different farming guidelines based on the kind of plant or farming you want to engage in. And to capture this, what we're proposing is actually what we call an integrated farming. So you don't have to do only crop farming. You can do the holistic crop farming, be it animal husbandry, fishery, whatever it is, even with crop farming. So now, the major product that we have is actually what we call the green glow. And this is the biofertilizer that we are producing. So what we'll do is we have it in liquid form, and then we have it in solid form. And then we've deciphered this such that we guide the farmers on what to do before they even plant and how they can apply fertilizer step by step during the period of growing their plants, and even what they should do to maximize their harvest. Now, after testing this, we employed the expertise of professionals to actually test what we have in the fertilizer, and then you can see the breakdown, the pH, the color, the organic carbon, all in a bid to try to reduce the carbon footprint on the wood actually. And what we have, when we did our testing, we planted maize, soybeans, rice, hibiscus, sesame, and perfect. So basically, because we plan to actually find a way of commercializing this, so we had to employ the agricultural agency in Nigeria to carry out the different tests, just so we can have the certification in order to start producing in large quantity and selling the produce. So basically, during our test, this is what we have as our result. We realized that the organic yield, where we use our home biofertilizer, is approximately like 50% more than the corresponding conventional yield. Subjecting them to the same environmental condition and using the same farm size to actually produce these crops. Now, in the results, this is actually during the different testing phase, we try to capture some pictures, and this is what it looks like when we are growing using our home biofertilizer. The next slide is where we did a comparison between using a conventional fertilizer, meaning the NPK of the wood and all the likes, and then the biofertilizer. And from here, even you can see that the difference is kind of clear, right? Now, that is about the fertilizer. So basically, now we look at how we can help the farmers to move from the local practice of farming into leveraging the technology. So this is the application we are currently building to address such problems. So on this application, we have the different rows, what the farm owner can see, what the employee on the farm can see, and how they can look at their, they can do their inventory management, how they can check the weather to plan for future activities, and how to schedule tasks and assigning tasks to the leveraging the farm guidelines that have been proofread by the professionals and guiding you what are the different steps that you can take in cultivating a particular plant. So the application, I hope that we are currently in the beta phase of the application. Hopefully by the end of April, I think we are going to go live. And then finally, we have this farm surveillance technology that we've deployed to some farms in the north, whereby you can get from your mobile application or from the comfort of our application, you can easily see what is going on your farm. You can zoom to the different sections to see what is going on. And this is actually good again for you to be able to address the security issue, maybe by alerting the security operative in the country if you notice anything going on in your farm. And one good thing about all these technologies, you don't need to log into the application before you know if there is an intruder in your farm. They are motion detection technology. And again, if there's an intruder, we've configured it in such a way that you get an alert on your mobile phone to say someone has actually intruded into your farm, and then you can log into the application, look at that section to see who is it. If it's someone that you don't know, then you can alert the security operative just to come to your rescue. I'm sorry that I have only 10 minutes. I would have loved to delve more into this. But then if you have any question, I'm always available, and then you can reach me through Dr. Said at ABC. Thank you very much, everyone.
Wow, wow, wow. When the country is already busy looking for solution, some group of people have gathered together to actually solve the problem. But how will the solution providers be available to the solution seeker? That is the reason why we have this very platform. And
Slides are visible.
very feasible, sir. Very feasible.
That's fine. Okay. I'll try to keep it as short as possible. Even I need to leave for I'll go out. Yeah. So climate change and global warming is impacting life, humanity, and planet Earth. There's a lack of awareness and actions to be taken. Our Earth is facing challenges. It's a humanity initiated, created problem. So we should, take action to correct it. I will not go through, all those what's in the slide, right? So today's topic, taking responsibility and making a meaningful impact on a community and in the society at large. How can we do this, right? We should develop a sustainability consciousness. Today, nobody has got a consciousness, on focusing on sustainability. Businesses alone cannot fully solve the environmental challenges. We should collaborate with educational institutions, businesses, NGOs, and government. We should collectively participate and then take actions to create awareness and green literacy. There should be also an active engagement from stakeholders, be it student or an employee or from the community, right? With this, view, we actually created 3 mobile apps. One for empowerment, where it will empower an individual to manage yourself, finance, sustainability, family tree, employment, student life, documents, and all those things. The second app we created was called Planet Sustain, where any individual, government, business, or SME or student can track and manage their carbon footprint. The third app is called Preventive Health for Invo Health Plus, where an individual can store all the health data, documentation, and then share it with the doctor as when it's required. All the 3 apps will work without internet and Wi-Fi, right? So all life forms, except for humanity, practice sustainability, responsible consumption, and this is the root cause for global warming and climate change. There's because sustainability has got very few takers. They're not bothered or they're not aware of it because there's a lack of awareness, lack of follow-up mechanism. Because we come and talk, in seminars, webinars, all those things. But after this, we don't really focus what actions we can take, how to track it, how to manage it, how to reduce consumption. As I said, we're still talking, and then there's a lack of, any app-based solution to track, manage, to reduce the consumption, right? So climate action challenges involve, creating awareness and responsible consumption, enabling sustainable practices through behavioral changes if it's an individual, or systemic and design changes if it's a government business related. The only solution to save planet Earth is to embark on actionable sustainability instead of just talking, we should act on it. So this could be in terms of creating awareness, stakeholder engagement, and tracking carbon footprint, be it scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3. So the Planet Sustain app, basically focus on for the people, for the planet, we partner for a purpose with an actionable sustainability. Planet Sustain app was selected by Singapore Ministry of Environment and Sustainability for part of the Go Green SG campaign last year. We'll also be we'll also be part of the Go Green SG campaign, which will be again happening in July 2024. This was inaugurated by Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Environment, Grace Fu. We also won the Singapore Environmental Achievement Award, Green Innovation Merit winner. We were the only IT company or solution company who won the award. All others were either big corporations implementing sustainability as part of their business processes, right? And I'm also part of the Asia Pac Sustainability Advisory Council, which has got companies like Hewlett Packard, KPMG, Intel, Nissan Motors, Schneider Electric, CSIRO, which is a large supercomputing facility, things like that. Right? So let me just start on Planet Sustain app. It is the world's first simple, easy to use app-based solution to take action to mitigate climate change, induced impacts, and to meet net zero targets. This could be used to create awareness and also to embark on green literacy, right? It's a simple and easy carbon footprint tracking solution. Business can use it, universities, colleges can use it. It's not an ESG reporting software. You can engage stakeholders like employees and students. We use EMS standards for Singapore, and we for some emission factors we use GHG protocols. It's highly PDPA compliant. When an individual using the app, the data will be stored only on a mobile phone. It doesn't move out of the mobile phone, right? So quickly, this is highly compliant with PDPA and GDPR, user email IDs, which is collected for registration purpose, gets deleted upon the user's first time login to the app. It works offline without internet and Wi-Fi. We also collect, if it's a business is involved, then they want to track all the data to generate a monthly report. And that's the scenario where the data moved from the app to the server. We also, when we developed the app, we also adopted sustainable IT, green code, so that, our infrastructure, doesn't consume too much of energy and other resources. We don't monetize user data at all. Right? So the way the app works, you submit, the consumption data, view monthly carbon footprint, adopt sustainable practices, exercise social responsibility, realize cost savings, save life and planet Earth. This can be used by corporates and SMEs, employees and individuals, youth and students. So let me skip this. So the way the app works, let's say this is the only UI you'll see. Let's say I want to understand by consuming electricity because I'm using electricity at home, what will be my carbon emission, So all that I go do is click on electricity. You will have, what are the energy sources? Is it from solar energy, electric supply? In Singapore, we use because our electric supply is from natural gas, we'll have one more element like that. Let's say, the common electric supply is from the state government or central government, it's electric supply, right? I just click on electric supply or solar energy. You will see what is the, unit of measurement kilowatt hour, what is the per kilowatt hour, what is the carbon emission factor. In Singapore, we use 0.4057. All that you go to select a month and then enter the unit, how much you consume. So you select the month and then you enter the unit. You know what is the carbon emission for consuming, let's say, 250 kilowatt hour. The carbon emission is 101 kg CO2e. And then you can look at month by month what is the consumption. The data entry and then viewing the data is similar when you take transport. Let's say you're driving a car using petrol or diesel, or you're taking public transport like train or bus and all. or you consume water, paper recycled, and then plastic again, plastic bags and PET bottles, travel smoking. The user and data entry is very same. Like you just select a energy fuel type, you select a month, you enter the consumption, and then you try to see. Similarly, you can also do, like when you donate books and clothes, you also can do carbon offset, planting trees with geotagging, or let's say based on the age of the plant, you can estimate what is the carbon offset. It's useful for individuals and NGOs to do this activity. Recycling paper, again, you can do a carbon offset. Some of them could be academic in purpose, unless you're able to find the carbon exchange to trade your carbon credits. After you enter all the data, you'll be able to see all the dashboard in terms of what you consumed, how much you have consumed, and what is the carbon footprint in terms of kg CO2, and what is the carbon offset. You'll also, let's say, to gamify the entire activity for engaging employees or students, we can also list the top, 20 people who are consuming less, doing more offset, so that they become net, positive rather than net negative. You can also generate a leadership dashboard, right? So we can also collect data from businesses, from different branch offices, and collect the data from, like different employees or, suppliers, scope 1, scope 3, and we can generate a monthly carbon footprint. A report goes like this, like by month, by, energy type, by fuel type, by location, by membership ID. This can be used, and we can also launch pilot programs for schools and colleges to engage the students to create awareness. We can also work with SMEs, corporates, and businesses. We can engage stakeholders. We can also work with, for scope 3 collections, for collecting data from supply chain or from suppliers, right? So the end use, for school students, NGOs, volunteers, government, business employees, federation members, users and community. As part of services, we provide green literacy, create awareness. And, thank you, and that's my time, 10 minutes. Thank you.
Wow, wonderful. And that is the reason why we say we are here for solution today. Of course, always we are here for solution. So
I will briefly elucidate on the programs or the ventures that I'm focusing on, which are solutions to taking care of the environment. And I perhaps would have spoken a bit about it in my first session with all of you. And they're namely, the first is on drone logistics. The second is on urban planning in a radical way where you don't disturb the existing ecosystem, even if it is a forest, and you build the urban center in like a hamlet, just like you have hamlets right now in remote areas of Africa or India, where the tribals are living. You adopt that concept with technology, disturbing the ecosystem. The third is an immediate product, which is basically where while we are making sure that the air quality which is there in the urban centers is bettered by bringing in non-polluting cars and non-polluting systems. However, there's an air filter, which is a it's a technology that's been developed by an IIT engineer in India very cheaply, which you put on an existing AC system, and it will clean your air at 1/5 of the cost of the filters that are available in the market as of date, and you can breathe clean air. More importantly, however, that in drones and drone logistics, the idea is essentially that Just like when you have cell phones, you don't need landlines. And when you don't need landlines, it means you don't need a whole lot of infrastructure in order just to communicate. In the same way, in drone logistics, you will have 1 tonner and 1.5 tonner payload drones, which will lift what trucks lift, and you won't need roads. You will not need polluting vehicles, and you will do away with one of the biggest reasons in this planet for pollution, and which is road transport.
The disruption. So I just wanted to basically conclude that drones and drone logistics are very radical initiatives. Perhaps in my next session, I can actually make the presentation of the impact, and I'll be ready with that. So it is my intention that the first place where in Africa we will be basing it will be in Rwanda, which already since 2016 has drone medicine delivery via Zipline, which is a Zipline company. And I'm also setting up the drone manufacturing facilities to cater to Africa in both Mauritius and Rwanda. And I'm looking at introducing these drones. Initially, it will be also smaller drones and firefighting drones. So you don't need ladders, and lives will be saved where normally it takes about 20 minutes, half an hour for a response of a fire tender. The drone fire tenders will respond within minutes, and the firemen don't have to go up the building and negotiate smoke and fire hazard. The drones will do the job, clear out the initial problems, and then the firemen can move in. So this is what the main thrust at the moment. My urban initiatives are still at the very early stages, but the idea basically is that you don't disrupt the ecosystem, you build around the ecosystem. That is one. Two, you understand the flow of water, the flow of air, and you build the city where you allow the movement of air and any kind of flash floods that are going to happen as and when global warming increases. It's a given fact that global warming will happen. Question is 1.5 degrees, 2 degrees, we don't know. And your living ways should be adapted to it. So I will be better prepared for my next interaction with you people with presentations on the initiatives that I've just spoken about. Thank you.
Thank you so much. In fact, you are actually reading my mind that we should have a special session like this to have that very solution or those very important solutions to the humanity. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, please, your presentation, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to be very brief. Thank you very much for this opportunity given to me.
Right.
Yes, from Uganda, and we had a challenge of researchers. Some of our researchers has been left there without being utilized. And for us, as one of the group, it's called NEMLA, Network for Education and Disciplinary Research in Africa. We have established a research and innovation academy to coordinate the researchers and their products for the national development policies. Now, the proposed solutions include the establishment of dedicated institutions and academies to coordinate research and innovation activities at the national level. So we want to utilize the researches of students, they do their researches, but they are kept anywhere, so they are not utilized. So this academy of ours is going to look into this, looking at Uganda, Africa, and the globe. so that these researchers really, they have an impact. Then we want to foster collaborations among researchers, institutions, and also we need industries to participate in this so that they can tell us what is lacking, which will guide our students and the nations at large. Then another solution is to ensure adequate funding and resources for research or for all the researches and innovations of the students, because some of the researches are not funded, yet the fundings are there. So this academy is going to help researchers on how to get the funding so that they are not demotivated. Then another solution is to create a state of research infrastructures, facilities such as laboratories, data centers, and innovation hubs, which are lacking now, like us in Uganda. We have friends who have traveled to Nigeria, some are our neighbors here in Kenya. They have a lot in research, but when you come to some countries, you find that we are lacking a lot of things, and this academy is going to do a very great thing. Then the next is to support these research services and guide students and other scholars on the researches that have an impact and have an interest, especially rotating around the sustainable development goals. So most of the students, they don't know these things. So this academy, we are encouraging our students to look at the global goals other than looking at it or duplicating already researches. Then we can also implement a robust system for monitoring and evaluating the impact of our researches and innovations. We need to see the researches that have been carried, how far have they gone? We need a system that can help all these things out. So because I have been interrupted and I have penetrated into other people's time, I only wanted to tell you about this academy. And this, by the way, this platform has helped us very much, and we are moving on very well. Thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you for your time. May God bless you.
Thank you so much. The way we are going to be having country by country solutions summits. The way we are going, because all these things you have mentioned deserve a thorough presentation and also thorough address of how to go about it. And we have resources. We have resource persons that can actually take it up. The persons, we are here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, good day, everyone. And first of all, I want to appreciate the one that's put together this program. Okay, so it's a very good program, and I think it's a good place to start with the issues of Nigerians as the present economic situation we are today. This is my first time of joining, and well, I've been able to pick some few information which I believe would help us a great way. But what I actually would like to ask is, well, as individuals with little capacity, let me put it that way, how do we really come into programs like this? How do we come together with the people that are interested in doing programs like this? What's going to be our impact?
Yes, noted. Yes, another person. Another person, we take it together. Mr. Jamin. Jennifer?
Okay.
Yes.
So far, we really appreciate the speakers from across the world. A lot of innovations, a lot of ways to tackle environmental challenges have been discussed. Honestly, these are things that really deserve a kind of a national attention. Because, for instance, now, like the last speaker said, in a couple of months now, we are going to start having rainy season, which most of these impacts will be felt. In fact, sometimes you have life being lost and all that. So it's really something that that's an eye opening for us, and I would like it to be a kind of a national discussion. Though fine, I know that will take some time, but if there is a way we can really push most of these things forward, I believe it's going to address a lot. For instance, now the solution from Mr. Adeyemi, if I'm right, from UAE, that speaks about monitoring your farm remotely, ability to alert people. You know, one of the major concerns of stakeholders in Nigeria in terms of farming today is the issue of security. I believe these are kind of tools that can really help. Then the other scholars too that spoke about their products in terms of what the value they can add. Imagine where you don't really need the firefighters that are usually dying as a result of trying to save properties. So drones, these are latest technology that I believe can really help a lot. So I just hope we'll have a way of pushing this thing forward to a bigger level. Thank you so much all for your contributions.
Thank you so much. And let me assure you that actually it requires resources to just give this program a voice. If it is if some of these very extracts are published in daily newspapers and also here on national TV or something, you'll be surprised that people will be amazed with the work we are trying to put together here. And that is the level that we are actually going. And I want to, I will mention some of these things to Sir Kape to discuss with Dr. Manov and also the likes of the people that are having the resources that we can actually leverage upon to actually push this thing forward in Africa and also across the world. And we are actually going there, but we want to actually concretize and also give a shape to this very platform so that we will know what we are here for and where we are focusing. I think that is what we are trying to define. On that, I want to open the closing session to our dear guests to respond to some of these questions and also give their closing remarks of 3 minutes. But before that, I think Engineer Najim has a question. Yes, let's take his question.
Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I'm directing my question to Mr. Baskaran. Sorry. I buy so much into those applications, to be honest with you. And where I'm sitting, I'm thinking about how we can put this application into best use. So like I mentioned to you, I'm currently working in the telecommunication realm, and I understand from the infrastructure as a service perspective, where you have some particular company building base station and trying to move from to reduce the carbon footprint. But of course, they're using generator, they're using transformers and all those things. Now, my question is, how can we integrate your application, especially the one that has to do with the carbon footprint tracker? How can we integrate it to such existing environments? Do you propose the use of probably an IoT device? Or what exactly do you use that can fetch us the raw information so you can know exactly how you are improving? For example, in the company where I currently work, there is this audit that happens every year to see how you guys are complying with the carbon footprints and how you've been able to reduce it. So in my opinion, I think this is a very good application that can actually goes into the enterprise scale, such that organizations are able to track their carbon footprints on their own. That's my question.
I think the current objective of the app. The current
Sorry?
the current focus of the app is to create awareness among large population, individuals, students, employees, and also to enable businesses to, to capture the various energy usage or travel transportation from a business operation perspective. It'll be very difficult for, like for us to go and do individual integration of IoT devices. I also come from a communication background, right? Let's say, we need to implement this in, capturing data, what is the energy use, what is the area use, what is the machinery use, what is the oil use, things like that. It would be difficult for us to go and, capture this information from an IoT perspective. This will become like a system integration activity for every location, every business, right? And, that requires, like working with system integrators. The easiest way, like let's say you're running a business, it has got multi, can roll it out, launch this for entire world without getting into too much of integration activity. So let's say, as I was mentioning, let's say you're running a business, it has got branch offices, it's got employees working at different locations. Employees can use the app to, to enter what they're consuming. Maybe they're traveling to work, they consume electricity at home, or they're working from home remotely. They can enter. It's a simple data entry. Select a month, select energy type, fuel type, your carbon footprint data is there. It also protects, like, let's say as a individual, you do not want your data to be shared anywhere. You can, as I said, the app will work without internet and Wi-Fi. You can store the data, you can look at the dashboard, all the data is available. This is for you to understand what you're consuming, take action, be a responsible consumer, reduce consumption, and contribute to sustainability, right? We can implement for businesses, we can implement for SMEs, we can engage a college or a university to create awareness among students, businesses to create awareness among sustainability, because there's everybody talks about sustainability. We want to do this, we want to do this. But when you want to do it in a large scale, resources, infrastructure, capital is required, right? We are trying to cut out all those. If you give me an option tomorrow, let's say you want to launch it for the entire Nigeria country, I can launch this app in 2 days' time, right? And it will not have any impact on my resources, my data center, because the app can work independently. It doesn't require to share the data to any other servers in the world. That's why we got the award from Singapore Environment Council. So I can discuss with, all the participant guests, like whether we want to launch some pilots for your, country or for universities, schools, colleges, employers, or businesses. We can launch it, let them see what's the benefit. The object, as I said, like there are a lot of complicated solutions are available, but we want to ensure it's a simple, easy, ensure there is an awareness creation. They're able to track, manage, reduce consumption, because that is what is required. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You can connect with me, like I think
perfect.
my email ID is available. You can connect with me. We can share more details with you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, I think that will be the best ways to go. And I think what Engineer Najim is interested in is actually to integrate this very system into the existing system and make it available worldwide to the people that actually, especially the organization that is actually having interest in a carbon footprint for their policy making and also business development. So thank you so much for that. And let's take the wrap up and also responses from Professor Dr. Bishnu.
I express my sincere thanks and gratitude to all respected speakers. They have explored the valuable input, which actually, for the betterment of our society, betterment of the environment, and leading to the achieved sustainable development goal. And Kapil sir, Bhaskaran sir, Najim sir, they have discussed many important things. They have invented, or they have explored their field, developed their initiative, passion. So it is a very fruitful propositions, which leading to achieving the sustainable development goal Not only that, it is directly linked with the societal development, economic development, and environmental benefit as well. So I congratulate all respected speakers and scholar. It's very fruitful presentation and program both. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. And let's take a wrap-up comment from Ms.
My thanks again to Dr. Debesi and all our participants today. I am very happy that this congregation is taking place, and it's becoming a confluence of ideas, initiatives. I feel to strengthen this, we could log in all the email IDs and make a group sharing site where all these ideas and these presentations can be shared. And we can adopt these in whichever countries or cities or wherever we are all living and carry the initiative forward. That's one. Second is that if we make a template of all the aspects that actually cover our lives in totality and break them up into a structured format where which of these aspects, whether it is transportation, whether it is production of any item, whether it be tomato ketchup or whether it be clothes, that in each of these elements, as a group, which of these are we addressing, and at what stage are we in this vis-a-vis negating the impact on the environment? That would help us. It's like doing a collage or like doing a jigsaw puzzle. So we have a jigsaw puzzle map, and we say, okay, these are the blanks, these are what we are already addressing, and these are what we already fulfilled or are fulfilling in what stages. So it gives us a orientation of what we need to do. The other thing in the closing remark I'd like to say is that just like Rwanda, each country should make environment a key focus for any planning that you do. Anything. That's one. Two, that all commercial costing must include the impact on the environment. And if it's going to increase the cost of the product, so be it. Because ultimately, we all know that the pandemic set all of us back by about 5 years on a GDP basis, straight GDP basis. So in the same way, these products cannot be built by ignoring the environment. So Mother Earth has got to come in the center of everything. Right now, she doesn't exist. The other thing, last thing which I want to say is that I attended another such program where we are talking about capital for the common good. Now, what is capital? I wondered. Capital is supposed to be money in the bank. Capital is supposed to be goods, services, or whatever inputs which are good and which they have a good asset value. But the truth of the matter is that any banking system we all know is today negative in capital. There's a huge debt overhang of, and that took to a GDP ratio which is humongous. It's crazy, right? Now, if the banks are negative, then is capital? No. The only capital that I feel which we have got to now look at is Mother Earth's resources. That's the capital. Whether it is foodstuff, whether it is minerals, whether it is crude oil, whether it's water, everything is basically capital which Mother Earth owns. She's the main banker. And are we giving her interest for the capital that we have taken on loan from her? No. Are we paying for this capital that we are taking from her? No. This is what we've got to keep in mind. That Mother Earth is the main banker and the only capital that we have on this planet. And if we don't take care of it, then we will be extinguished, have no doubt about it. This civilization will go the same way that all the other civilizations have. But the advantage that we have is we have very good technology available right now, and we've got awareness, and we should do the needful. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much. Yes, sir.
We should all collaborate. As the previous speaker mentioned, you know, irresponsible consumption by everyone is depleting the resources of the earth. There should be a social consciousness, responsible consumption, but there is a lack of awareness. As an individual, you're not knowing what you're consuming. You keep on buying, purchasing. You keep on utilizing things, without consciousness in mind. Because I need to have one more car, I need to have one more shirt, I need to have one more, shoe, things like that. So I'm ready to collaborate with everyone and anyone to create this awareness. We have an app available. We're also going to the industrial version. We're also starting a sustainability maturity assessment academy online based. I'm ready to collaborate with everyone around the world and looking forward to working with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And let's take the closing remark from Engineer Najim Oyeyemi.
Okay, so thanks to everyone. Thank you for having me. And this has been truly an inspiring section. So I will close my remark by addressing a question someone asked, that what is the need for the audience that are not speakers? In my opinion, I think the basic need is actually for you to know that just like any other speaker, just like any other scholar, you can identify problems and do a deep dive analysis to look at what the problem is and come up with sustainable solutions. So I saw this platform for from a guest perspective as an avenue to get the motivation you need to start doing something. There are a lot of problems in the world. And trust me, all the scholars here, they're just doing their part. They cannot identify all the problems. So it is the responsibility of you and I to identify those problems, come together as a group, work individually to provide solutions to it. And it begins with but once you are able to identify, you just have to, so there's these books, I'm very sure that a lot of people have read it, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I will encourage whoever have not seen it to actually read the book. It's written by Stephen Covey or something. Now, I like 3 of those habits. The number 1 is actually being proactive. Being proactive means you discovering what can become a catastrophic in the nearest future, being able to identify it and mitigate those risks before it becomes a problem. Number 2 is beginning with an end in mind. So a lot of people will jump into activities just to fulfill the activities, but the question becomes, what is the objective? What is the primary objective? After you going task by task, step by step, what is it that you need to achieve? So if you have the end in mind, you'll be able to tailor a solution to address that, right? And finally, no matter what we do, it's always good to have a win-win mindset. So I can come with a solution, maybe it doesn't align with you or you don't seem to understand what my solution is all about. You can ask questions, you can collaborate, see how that thing works for me, and you can adapt it to how it will work for you. That is it for me. Thank you very much, everyone. And thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And yes, Mrs. Naomi, are you there? Yes, general remarks as a guest here from Dr. Rufai. Yes, your mic is on now. Dr. Rufai Akinlabi.
Yeah, thank you very much, SLB. This is a very good platform. And I know you've always been a person with a very passion about youth and sustainable development. Yeah, I've listened to all the speakers. I must commend them for all their insight. Yeah, sustainable development is all about leaving the environment better than the way we met it. And I've seen our speaker providing a lot of solutions. There are still more solutions. I have very much for being part of this one. I think it's a good platform. I must commend SLP. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Before we take our vote of thanks from one of our members, I want to say that all what we have mentioned are actually a part of what we have been doing. After this session, it will be live and available on YouTube for all our audience and across the world to watch. Apart from that, we have realized what Sir Kapis said, and we have put in place monthly summary of our sessions that is going to have the profile of our scholar guests around the world. Is going to also showcase their solutions along with it, so that we can send it out to different governments and different bodies, different agencies that they are going to see it. And also, just this morning, when I thought of this very session, I was thinking of a solution conference whereby we are going to invite the stakeholders from the government and also multilateral level organizations that are going to be part of this. Because I know when they see what we are actually bringing up, they are going to be interested. And of course, we are going to consult and continue to also discuss the way forward on it. So we are having the total package. And the last one that I thought of is to celebrate our scholars. That have been part of this very program. We are going to create a kind of a profiling publication for each of our scholars, telling their stories, showcasing their solutions, and also publish it as their own biography. That is what we are also having in mind. So, Sir Kapi, we are going to write your story and publish. Mr. Mashkaran, we are going to write your story.
Right.
Dr. Bishnu, we are going to write your story and publish. That is where we are heading to. Because to whom much is given, much is actually deserves to be reciprocated. So we have a lot of visions of what we are doing, and we continue to innovate and also propagate what we know best, because the true celebrities are the leaders that are contributing to the society. The true celebrities are the scholars that are contributing solutions to the society. And that is where our focus is. Thank you so much. And I will call upon one of our team to actually appreciate them. We'll wrap up for today. And I will call on Mr. Jamiu Omotosho. Yes.
Thank you so much for your great your great contributions to humanity. Like Dr. Said said, the real celebrities are the people that are contributing positively towards the well-being of the entire humanity. I believe this is really a great word, and your effort is really appreciated. And we hope that in no distant future, you are going to also get rewards for all this relentless effort, because I'm an IT person. I know what it takes to come up with all these solutions. It's really not child's play. So you are appreciated, and we hope anytime we need you, you are going to be available, so that we can all have a better society at large. Thank you so much, the participant. Thank you so much, our great scholars in the house. Thank you.
So
Thank you very much.
Next time, I want to say namaste. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Dr.
Everyone.
Thank you, respected speaker. Thank you so much.